It is my great pleasure to introduce a person who represented this area in the United States Congress, who served as the most fiscally conservative member of the United States House of Representatives, and is going to go on to Washington, D.C. as our next U.S. Senator and fight for New Jersey's taxpayers, our friend, Congressman, and our next United States Senator, Dick Zimmer.
I was born here in New Jersey. Marfi and I raised our family here. Our sons were married here. And now our grandchildren are learning to love New Jersey as much as we do. New Jersey is a wonderful state. It's filled with people who are tough and smart and optimistic. But here in New Jersey, families are worried about losing their jobs because the cost of living here is too high. They're tired of out-of-control spending and spiraling taxes, and they're tired of Washington giving us politics as usual instead of working to make things better. They want change. They want a stronger economy. They want to be able to afford to pay for gasoline and for food and for health care. They want to honor the breathtaking achievements of our men and women in uniform by ending the war in Iraq both quickly and responsibly. And they want government to live within its means the way that every family has to do. I look forward to discussing these and other important issues face-to-face with Senator Lautenberg so the voters can see what each of us has to offer. 2 years ago, you may recall that the incumbent Senator Bob Menendez and his challenger Tom Kean agreed to a series of debates beginning in June for the general election. And you may also recall that 26 years ago, Frank Lautenberg challenged Millicent Fenwick to a series of 21 debates, one in every single county. And he declared that he was deeply disappointed when they ended up with only 5 debates. The people of New Jersey deserve to see their candidates face-to-face on the same stage, dealing with the same issues and dealing with each other to make the most informed judgment that they can. The choice voters are going to make is about effectiveness. Since he rejoined the Senate 6 years ago, Frank Lautenberg has sponsored only one bill that has become law, to rename the West Milford Post Office. I represented New Jersey in Congress for 6 years, and during that time I was able to achieve some important things for the state of New Jersey. I wrote the federal Megan's Law, which has saved many young lives by letting parents know when a sexual predator moves into the neighborhood. I authored no-frills prison legislation, which stopped the necessity to use federal taxpayer dollars to pay for perks for federal prisoners. I crossed the aisle to work with Democrats to achieve tax cuts, to achieve political reform, and to protect the environment. But most of all, I kept a watchful eye on your tax dollars. I believe families make wiser, more effective, and better decisions about their money than the government does. And I believe New Jersey families are better off when your money stays here rather than being sent to Washington. This is the clearest difference that I have with my opponent, Frank Lautenberg. In fact, I'm running for the U.S. Senate as the un-Lautenberg. 26 years ago, Frank Lautenberg complained that New Jersey ranked 45th out of the 50 states in terms of how much money we get back for every tax dollar that we send to Washington. He said he was going to change that, and Frank Lautenberg did change that. Now we are dead last. We are 50 out of the 50 states. And still, Frank Lautenberg tries to play the pork game. Alaska gets $250 million for a bridge to nowhere, and if we're lucky, New Jersey gets $100,000 for blueberry research. My goal is not to get better at the pork game. I want to shut down the pork game. I want us to keep our money in our pockets in the first place. And when pork buster John McCain is in the White House, I'm going to be in the Senate as his ally, fighting with him against earmarks and against bloated budgets, and standing up with him for the taxpayer. I respect Frank Lautenberg for his years of service to this country, and I acknowledge that he has done some good things for New Jersey. But when Frank Lautenberg was first elected, we had an energy crisis. Now we have an energy disaster. When Frank Lautenberg was first elected, we had a heavy tax burden. Now it's making New Jersey simply unaffordable. 6 more years of Frank Lautenberg isn't going to fix these problems. He's had his chance. He's had 24 years. Now is a time to take a different direction. Change is in the air. It's what the people need. You cannot expect a man who was first elected to the U.S. Senate 26 years ago to be the agent for change that this state and this nation need. I will be that voice for change. I will be the senator who says no to bridges to nowhere and no to wasteful spending anywhere in the United States. I will be that senator who stands up for the great people of the state of New Jersey. I thank you for your support, and I look forward to a campaign of hope and ideas. Thank you very much.